Hey everyone, it is 11 a.m. Central Time, Wednesday morning, and that means it's time for Brown Bag Lunch with Dr. John Sherk. I'm here to help you find all the technical talent you need, especially using culture instead of wages. It's a cold morning this morning in South Louisiana. It's chilly. Okay, so what are we going to talk about this week? I want to tell you the story this time of a famous research study done in the early 70s at Princeton Seminary. Several Princeton Seminary students, let me back up. The authors, if you want to look this stuff up, are J.M. Darley and C.D. Batson. The name of the article is From Jerusalem to Jericho, a study of situational and dispositional values in helping behavior. Oof. Okay, so here's the gist of it. So you got seminary students who are in a Christian seminary and obviously expressing their own values, and are given direction that they're going to do a sermon on the parable of the Good Samaritan. Okay, so what is the parable of the Good Samaritan? This is a story where there's a man who's injured on the side of the road, and as Jesus tells the story, two people that the local people hearing the story would think of as the good guys pass by him without helping him, a priest and a Levite. And they're going along their way, and they just kind of go past him. The third one, a Samaritan, who's considered sort of a guy from the other side of the tracks, not a person of high status, not a guy they respect. He stops and helps him, helps clean him up, gets him a room, and makes sure he's okay. And then Jesus at the end says, so who's really the good guy here? Is it the guy with a reputation or the guy who took action? Okay, so the real experiment is that these group of seminary students were in one room, in one building, and said, you're going to do a sermon on this parable, but you have to go over to that building to do it. Now, here's the experiment. One group of them was told, you have got plenty of time, no hurry. A second group was told, you've got enough time, but you should get going. A third group was told, you're late, hurry up, right? So you want to guess the outcome? The low hurry people, 63% of them helped in some form or another. The medium hurry people, 45% of them helped. And the high hurry people, only 10% of them helped. And one of them literally stepped over the acting person that they put in the street to simulate the parable of the Good Samaritan, right? So you see the deal. They put somebody on the street to act like the guy who's injured, and then they take three groups, all of which deeply hold these values. The hurry group weren't they didn't see it as less important. All they did was change their perceived level of hurry and urgency. 63% who weren't in a hurry helped, 45% medium hurry helped, 10% high urgency, high hurry, only 10% helped. Now, what do we want to learn from this? So what we're talking about is using culture to compete for talent. And for the most part, the things that need to be done that really are the culture building actions are important, but not urgent issues, right? So what I want to do is ask you to really be honest with yourself for a minute. It would be very difficult to find someone listening to this video who says, I don't care about my technicians. Everybody who has a company cares about their technicians on some level. I mean, I've heard some harsh stories, but I mean, there's a few, I'm sure. But for the most part, the people who own air conditioning companies care about their technicians. That's not the question. The question is this: is your life in such a state of hurry that you're not doing anything about it? Is your life in such a state of rush, urgency, late for the next meeting, one more call, got to get this done, that the urgency around those things is keeping you from building your culture? Now, I can now contrast this with the idea that somebody really important on your team just left, and now replacing them, now it's urgent. But all that really motivates is finding one guy. It's not about building the culture. So here's what I want to encourage you to do. This is what I coach all my clients. Establish 2 hours a week, right? And during those 2 hours, pull in anybody you want on your culture building team and help them organize them, help them take the steps needed to start building your culture, and keep that 2 hours sacred. Don't schedule things over it, and don't turn that meeting into only tasks. Talk about the culture. What are the pillars of your culture, and why are those the pillars? What is it about fair pay, let's say, if that's one of your pillars? What is it about fair pay that makes it one of the pillars? How do we talk about fair pay? What are we doing about fair pay? All right. And the idea being that we're going to use that meeting to plan action that we're really going to take. And the next week the meeting happens. Did we do it? All right. So the meeting itself, not wanting to come to the meeting and admit I didn't do what I said I was going to do, is part of the motivation for getting it done. All right. Does this all make sense? The barrier to you getting to the culture that really competes for quality talent is in some ways not that you don't have any idea what that looks like. It's that the action, the time to take action to make that a reality is competing with other things that are much more urgent. And you've got to make a decision as to whether you're going to kind of impose yourself against that urgency by installing that meeting. If you have a better idea, by all means, but this is the method I show my clients. All right. Too much urgency, no action on the culture. And all you do is feel the gap between how much you care and how little you're doing. All right. I'm Dr. John Sherk. That's a lesson for this week. If you enjoyed what you heard this week, if you want to reach out, if you want to talk on the phone for 15 minutes, get to know each other, if you want to share this with your friends below, please comment. Please share with your friends. Please reach out if you'd like to talk. I'm Dr. John Sherk, and this has been Brown Bag Lunch. Thank you very much.